Former Secretary to the Lagos State Government, Princess Adenrele Adeniran Ogunsoya, is dead. Hi, welcome to What's Happening. These are the top 10 stories now. At number 10, the National Bureau of Statistics says 13 states produced 36,943.8 metric tons of wheat in 2021. The figure is contained in the latest report of the NBS, titled Wheat Production Survey in Nigeria 2021, obtained from the NBS website on Monday in Abuja. The report said Kano State accounted for the highest wheat produced by producing 6,512.8 tons, followed by Jigawa State, which produced 5,854.8 tons, that is 17.69%, Kebbi with 4,422 tons, while Zamfara at 672 tons accounted for the least, that is 1.62%. At number 9, the Central Bank of Nigeria has retained the monetary policy rate at 11.5%. CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele announced this during a briefing after the first Monetary Policy Committee meeting for the year held in Abuja on Tuesday. Also retained were the cash reserve ratio and liquidity ratio at 27.5% and 30% respectively. Announcing the committee's decision, Mr. Emefiele said, after a careful balancing of the benefits and the downside risks of the policy options, the MPC decided to hold all parameters constant, believing that a hold stance will enable the continuous permeation of current policy measures in supporting the recorded growth recovery and further boost production and productivity, which will ultimately rein in inflation in the short to medium term. At number 8, the National Human Rights Commission in Kaduna State says 524 complaints of sexual and gender-based violence against women were lodged in 2021. NHRC State Coordinator Tengu Gwa disclosed this on Monday in Kaduna. He attributed the rise in sexual and gender-based violence to the COVID-19 pandemic, stating that the pandemic brought about restriction of movement and many people lost their jobs. Mr. Gwa said out of the 524 cases received last year, 224 are primarily on domestic violence on women, even though there are other various forms of violence against women and girls. Further stated that there was an increase in awareness about human rights, which explains the increase in the number of petitions from people and organizations. At number 7, the United Kingdom has announced plans to remove all COVID-19 testing requirements for fully vaccinated passengers entering England. The UK government said starting February 11, 2022, passengers entering England who are fully vaccinated will no longer be required to book a Day 2 arrivals test. A message from British Airways Chairman and Chief Executive Officer Sean Doyle noted that finally fully vaccinated customers can start to book with confidence, whether they are doing business, going on holiday, or reuniting with friends and family, without the additional costly and time-consuming burden of testing. At number 6, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the suspension of the planned removal of petroleum product subsidy until further notice. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timipre Sylva, disclosed this to State House Correspondents on Tuesday at the presidential villa. Mr. Sylva said the executive will propose 18-month extension to the National Assembly for the implementation of the Petroleum Industry Act, meant to take off in February. At number 5, Aliko Dangote has retained his position as the richest man in Africa with a net worth of $12.1 billion. This is according to the 2022 edition of the Forbes Top 10 Africa's Billionaires list. The list was uploaded on Forbes' verified Twitter account. According to the report, for the 11th year in a row, Aliko Dangote of Nigeria is the continent's richest person, worth an estimated $13.9 billion, up from $12.1 billion in 2021. The report added that Africa's billionaires were richer than they had been in other years, despite the global coronavirus pandemic. At number 4, police operatives in Oyo State have arrested a 23-year-old serial burglar and recovered 16 iPhones and 2 laptops. The police commissioner, Ngozi Onadeko, disclosed this in a statement on Tuesday in Ibadan. She said the police operatives attached to the Falele division arrested the suspect on Saturday in connection with a burglary and stealing at about 8 p.m. on December 28th at Choice Plaza, Challenge area, Ibadan, where mobile phones and accessories worth 2 million naira were stolen. The police commissioner added that the suspect was caught with the stolen items including 16 iPhones, a white earpiece, one unbranded white-colored AirPod, a Sunnyview laptop, one Dell laptop, and a black shuttle bag. At number 3, the United Nations has condemned the military takeover in Burkina Faso and called for the immediate release of President Christian Kabore and other top officials. The UN Human Rights Office said on Tuesday it was crucial to preserve democratic space in the West African nation and ensure that the rule of law is respected. On Monday, soldiers in Burkina Faso announced on state television that they had seized power following a mutiny over the civilian president's failure to contain an Islamist insurgency. A junior officer announced the suspension of the constitution, the dissolution of the government and parliament, and the closure of the country's borders. At number 2, the Senate has re-amended the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2022 for a second time to include provisions that clearly define the mode of primaries for political parties. The re-amendment followed a motion on rescission on Clause 84 of the Electoral Act No. 26/2010 Amendment Bill 2022 and committal to the Committee of the Whole. According to a statement signed by the Special Advisor to the Senate President on Media, Ezreal Tabiowo, and released on Tuesday, the motion was sponsored by the Senate Majority Leader, Yahya Abdullahi. After the amendment by the Committee of the Whole, the Senate President, Ahmed Lawan, said the re-amendment was done to harmonize its position with that of the House of Representatives. Finally, at number 1, former Secretary to the Lagos State Government, Princess Adenrele Adeniro Ogunsanya, is dead. A chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, Honorable Fawad Oki, who confirmed her death, said she died early Tuesday after a brief illness at the age of 74. Adenrele served as Secretary to the Lagos State Government during the tenure of former Governor Babatunde Fashola between 2007 and 2011. She was one of the leaders of the Lagos for Lagos movement, whose members recently defected to the People's Democratic Party from the ruling All Progressives Congress. Always remember to wear your mask, wash your hands, and stay safe. That's all for today. See you next time on What's Happening.